Hello, I'm Roger Hartwell, Director of Marketing Communications with Seed Savers Exchange, and today we're in my kitchen in Northeast Iowa where I'm going to make pumpkin bread as part of the Resilience Garden video series. So while I'm getting the ingredients ready to actually make this recipe, I'm going to provide you with a list of what you'll need to do this. It's laid out here, and I have the oven preheating at 350 degrees. To get started, I'm going to mix all of the dry ingredients together to get them nice and blended together, and then we will move on to our wet ingredients. So I'm going to mix all these together, and we're going to speed this up to make this process a little less painful to watch. Now I've got all my dry ingredients mixed together nice and evenly, and it's time to start mixing them in with our wet ingredients. So for this recipe, I am using 2 cups of Long Island cheese pumpkin. So to get this, I processed this pumpkin about a month ago and froze it. So to bake your pumpkin, you want to bake it at 350 degrees until it is soft. So you can basically fork soft. So I stuck it in my oven, literally cut it in half. Once it was done, once it was soft, I could actually stick a fork into it. I took it out, scraped everything out, and then ground it the rest of the way in my blender. So super easy to process them. Long Island cheese is a fantastic pumpkin to basically bake with. It's just a little watery, a little more watery than some of the other winter squash that's out there. So I'm going to proceed to basically start to get some of these these ready to go. We're going to speed up the process to make it a little bit easier to watch as well. So thanks very much. Mixed together. What I'm going to do now is this recipe makes 2 average size loaf pans. So what we're going to do is I've sprayed a little bit of cooking spray on the ends of the pans. I'm also going to line the pans with some parchment paper. This makes the process a whole lot easier to get it out of it, get it out of the pan later on. So you can't find parchment that's the exact size of these pans. So what I've done is I've just kind of eyeballed it. As best you can. It just needs to coat the bottom, and that's it, roughly around the sides. So the little bit of cooking spray does help kind of stick it to the sides, which is nice as well. So we're just going to stick that in there, fold it over the side, and move to the next pan. So we're going to get all these done, and then we're going to proceed to fill them. So there we got those all taken care of. So we're going to line these up as best we can to make it easy to fill these guys. And then we're just going to fill each pan as best we can. Try and keep them as even as possible. I generally fill one of them and then go to the next one and see about how much is left. And then at that point, I move to the next pan and try to just even them out as best I can based on what is left in the bowl that I'm using. Okay, there we go. We got it roughly about even in each pan, and they're ready to go into the oven. So just a second, I'll show you put them in the oven and what I actually use. Seeing here is got the inside of my oven. I am using a baking stone. The oven has been preheated to 350 degrees. We are going to place these breads into the oven for roughly about an hour. So just set them in there and kind of keep an eye on them, and we'll see them in an hour. So the bread has been baking about 70 minutes roughly. So it's a little over an hour to get everything taken care of. So we're going to pull it out and see how it does, or how it looks. So this is the bread straight out of the oven. Get the other loaf here. It looks pretty much done. We're going to try 2 different ways of testing to make sure it's done. One, you can test it by sliding a butter knife into it or a toothpick. If anything comes out on it, then you know that it needs a little bit more time, but if it comes out clean, then it's generally fine. in. So as you can see, came out clean. So this is done. The other way you can go about doing it is by using a thermometer. You're looking for an internal temperature of roughly 210 degrees. And that means that it's cooked on the inside. So we're going to go ahead. Well, another way that you can also tell with this bread is that it will start pulling away from the sides on the very back. So generally the only spot that I ever have that sticks when I make this is dead in the center, which is why I have the parchment paper in there for this one. So let's see if we can get it out here. I'll pop one of them out. So it lifts out super easy when you have it in parchment paper at the bottom. As I said, the only spot that ever sticks on me is the very center of it. So set this over here. So I'll go ahead and let these go ahead and cool down. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Look for more videos.